Hello and welcome. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Tonight, Kogi State House of Assembly lawmakers begin impeachment process against State Deputy Governor Simon Achuba over media utterances as Mr. Achuba insists he is unruffled. Police authorities accuse soldiers of killing 3 police officers and a civilian, as well as setting free a high-profile kidnapper in Edo State. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency raises alarm, warns Nigerians to expect heavy rains and heavy flooding next month. And U.S. President Donald Trump begins visit to sites of 2 mass shootings in Ohio and Texas, where at least 31 people were killed for alleged hate crime.
On Business News tonight, the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation collaborate to promote transparency in the country's oil and gas industry.
And on sports news tonight, the Confederation of African Football CAF declares Esperance of Tunisia as winners of the 2018-2019 Champions League after weeks of legal tussle.
And from Abuja, Kaduna State government to appeal High Court ruling granting Shiite leader Ibrahim El-Zakzaky and his wife leave for medical attention in India.
There's a new twist to the political wrangling between the Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello and his deputy Simon Achuba, opening up what may seem as tension in the leadership of the state. Today, lawmakers in the State House of Assembly began the process to impeach the deputy governor over his alleged utterances and action in some national media. The lawmakers have described this media interviews as gross misconduct against the governor of the state, Yahya Bello, and the people of the state.
The rift between me and the governor is nothing less than the issue of performance.
Frosty times in Kogi State, with the dispute between the Deputy Governor Simon Achuba and the Governor Yahya Bello stealing headlines.
So when you throw dialogue away, you throw persuasion away, and you engage in fight with those that we are supposed to work with, I don't know whether any person can describe such a leader. What word can be used in describing such a leader?
The utterances appear to have stirred up a lot of dust in the State House of Assembly, and the members have risen against the Deputy Governor.
Mr. Speaker, we, the underlisted and undersigned members of the Kogi State House of Assembly, have in the past few weeks and days watched keenly the actions and utterances of the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Elder Simon Achuba, both in public and on national televisions, with regards to the government of Kogi State, the Governor of Kogi State, and other key officials of the Kogi State government.
Having clarified that 21 House members signed the petition, the Speaker prepares ground for the proceedings to commence.
That we step down under 5 Rule 23(1) and invoke Order 7 Rule 47 of the Standing Rule of the House.
One after the other, the speakers bear their minds on the situation.
Our governor, the executive governor of this state, has won awards, several awards, in the area of security. But surprisingly, our deputy governor is already on the move, trying to drag the wonderful name, the good name, the state the governor has built.
For the Deputy Speaker of the House, the grievances against the governor could and should have been handled without hostilities.
We would have looked at the critical issues that he presented before us and will take adequate action.
At the end of the day, the Deputy Governor has been given 2 weeks to respond to the petitions filed, a length of time that many hope the controversy will be resolved and not tear the state apart.
But the Deputy Governor, Mr. Achuba, says he is not ruffled by the action of the State Assembly lawmakers. Rather, he believes the action of the lawmakers is a sharp response to the corruption allegations he leveled against the State Governor.
I know that they may go that way and it has come. And it's a reaction to the revelations that I have made. Instead of responding to the issues of corruption as I have alleged, he prefers to go to the assembly. I am not disturbed, I'm not worried, and I want to let the people of the state know that the struggle continues until the state is emancipated, is liberated and free from these people who have made up their mind to change negatively the state of Kogi. So I want to appeal to people of Kogi State not to be worried. They should go about their business peacefully. By the end of the day, who is standing well will be known.
Moving to legal matters now, the Federal High Court in Abuja today ordered the National Assembly to stop its plan to take over the legislative functions of the Edo State House of Assembly. Justice Taiwo gave the order at the resumed hearing in the case filed by the Edo State government, challenging the decision by the Senate and the House of Representatives to step in if the governor fails to send another proclamation letter for the fresh inauguration of the Edo Assembly. But Justice Taiwo ordered the parties in the case to maintain status quo pending the determination of the case. The Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt had earlier given an order restraining the Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, from issuing a fresh proclamation letter as directed by the Senate. The court also restrained the clerk of the National Assembly, the President of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, their servants, agents, and officers from interfering or taking over the legislative functions of the Edo State House of Assembly. The orders followed requests sought by the Deputy Speaker of the Edo House of Assembly, Honorable Yakini Daye, and the member representing Ipobaoka constituency in the Edo Assembly, Honorable Henry Okorobo. In a swift reaction, the National Assembly says the court order poses a problem and infringes the rights to perform their constitutional duties. The lawmakers said in a statement that inasmuch as they believe in the principle of separation of power, no arm of government should abdicate power to another arm of government. They plan to appeal this ruling. Well, it appears the leadership crisis rocking houses of assembly in Edo and Bauchi State is on President Muhammadu Buhari's mind as he now vows to explore constitutional means of resolving them. The president gave this hint when he received APC members as the All Progressives Congress members of the Bauchi State House of Assembly during a courtesy visit at the State House in the nation's capital, Abuja. Earlier, the president met with the National and Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, where he received an account of the party's spendings for the 2019 general election. State House correspondent Ibrahim Adra reports.
A delegation of national and state lawmakers, as well as party leaders from Bauchi State, been received at the council chamber. They are meeting President Muhammadu Buhari. Top on the agenda is a leadership crisis rocking the State House of Assembly. Not all part of the meeting is open to reporters, but President Buhari sees the crisis as one that should be approached with caution and respect for the Constitution. He intends to consult the Office of the Attorney General when appointed.
My advice to you is stay firm, bearing in mind your responsibilities representing your constituencies, and stay firm, keep your party in the state informed, keep the party in the center informed, and definitely after the next break, Salah break, I just have to summon the minister, one appointed, the Inspector General of Police, and to work with the party to make sure that Bauchi and Edo State National Assembly vis-a-vis governors problem is solved.
Earlier, President Buhari met with APC National Working Committee members, led by the national chairman. Mr. Adams Oshomole emerged from the meeting stating that President Muhammadu Buhari's second mandate is a call to service delivery, while stating the APC's intention to set up an institute for progressive studies.
Because the problem of Nigeria is that people belong to various political parties. They don't even understand the ideology of that party if they have any.
The members also gave the president a report on the party's spending for the 2019 election, though he wouldn't say how much. The party chairman, however, speaks on those party members who are displeased with the ministerial list and all the leadership of committees in the Senate, including the arrest of Omoyele Sowore.
What does he want now? To say that Nigerians must make him the president? No, what is it that he wants? Because we all have to be careful. Nobody should talk as if we have another country.
Mr. Oshomole describes the meeting as first exclusive meeting with President and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in attendance. He preaches party discipline, promising the party's resolve to bridge the gap between extreme rich and poor in the country. From the presidential villa, Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
The main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, is criticizing the president and his party, the All Progressives Congress, over what it describes as a deteriorating situation in Nigeria. In a statement from its National Working Committee, the PDP says that it has appraised the situation in Nigeria with particular reference to security, economy and politics, and it has come to the conclusion that the president and his party, the All Progressives Congress, have failed to meet the aspirations of Nigerians. The party also accused President Buhari of plunging Nigeria into distress, weakening its cohesion and economic viability, and fostering a situation of uncertainty and hopelessness on Nigerians in the process. According to the PDP, the time has come for Nigerians as well as the international community to come to the nation's rescue by speaking out against what it calls the prevailing situation before it is too late. And Security Matters Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, has directed that the full-fledged investigation be launched into circumstances surrounding the death of 3 police officers and 1 civilian allegedly by soldiers in Taraba State. The IGP said in a statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, Frank Mba, that the 3 officers and civilians were shot dead, while 1 on investigative assignment to effect the arrest of 1 Alhaji Hamisu, who was indicted in a series of high-profile kidnap incidents in the state. The statement also says the intelligence response team allegedly came under sudden attack by soldiers of the Nigerian army along Ibi Jalingo Road in Taraba State while taking the suspect to the command headquarters in Jalingo, despite sufficient proof that they are police officers on legitimate duty. The statement adds that the other officers sustained gunshot wounds in the process while the kidnapped suspect was freed and has since gone into hiding. The army is yet to respond to the allegation by the police IGP. And staying with security matters, this time on the plight of Nigerians in South Africa, at least 8 persons have been arrested in connection with the killings and assault of Nigerians living in the country. That's according to the chairman of the National Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri-Arewa. Mrs. Arewa condemned the attacks, insisting that the presidents of both countries will be meeting to discuss how to address the matter. She was speaking at a meeting with officials of the National Association of Nigerian Students in the nation's capital, Abuja.
Why are you hitting me? I cannot drop my phone. This is my own right. See the way they're treating me. Can you see the way they're treating me?
This is the kind of ordeal Tayo Faniron, a Nigerian student living in South Africa, had to deal with a few weeks back. His experience further exposes what several other Nigerians living there are going through. Available data reveal that 127 Nigerians have been killed in 3 years, while 13 out of these were reportedly killed by the South African police. At this meeting organized by the National Diaspora Commission, he narrates how he was assaulted.
Some scars here, like I said, God blessed me with a good skin, you know, so that's why maybe by now I should still be swollen. They beat me so much. It is too much that I cannot even begin to think about that because it will hold me down.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
The National Association of Nigerian Students plans not to take this matter lightly.
South Africans henceforth should leave Nigeria with all their businesses. Nigerian students are not joking about it. And we are giving 7 days ultimatum for this action to be carried out. Diplomacy has failed. Diplomacy has failed.
The chairman of the National Diaspora Commission appeals for calm, noting that government is not lying low on the matter. According to her, masterminds of the killings have been arrested by South African authorities.
8 policemen are currently being investigated in South Africa for their involvement in killings against Nigerians. That investigation must come to an end, and there must be consequences for their actions. Now, the 2 policemen that did this to Tayo, they're already being investigated by the investigating body that deals with police officers in South Africa. We must know the outcome of the investigation.
On several occasions, government authorities promised to reduce the rate of xenophobic attacks, especially on Nigerians, to the barest minimum. How long this will be addressed remains the question on the minds of many.
In part 2, after the break, we'll open up discussions on the alarm raised by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, warning Nigerians to expect more rains and heavy flooding next month. And we'll be joined by climatologist Professor Emmanuel Oladipo. Please stay with us.